The Wayward Realms. Is this the Elder Scrolls 6 that we honestly deserve?
In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Wayward Realms. This game is sort of a spiritual successor of the early Elder Scrolls games, but with a modern twist. Main quests are fun. They're useful when you want to know more about the lore of the game, and they provide arguably the best experience when you want to know a game's story. The reason why I'm starting with this because in this video, we'll be talking about a game that actually doesn't have any main quests, but for good reason. Wayward Realms is an RPG game that is being developed by Once Lost Games, a studio led by Ted Peterson and Julian LeFay, who are two of the minds behind the Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall.
Oh, look at this. I like their decision making. I feel that these people are capable of representing my complex needs and desires in video games. I feel that they could do a good job.
And Daggerfall. Their ultimate goal is to create what they're calling a grand RPG, a massive and dynamic experiences where your choices truly shape the world around you, and hope that the Wayward Realms does exactly just that. In this game, you'll be thrown into an archipelago filled with procedurally generated cities and landscapes, but I'll get into more detail.
The irony of the fact that an archipelago is actually a unique setting for games just struck me. And wow.
Detail on the game story and setting in a minute, but what I can say now is the game promises a level of freedom and replayability that's rare in modern RPGs, which the devs described as being on the scale and ambition of Daggerfall, but with a more modern twist. One of the game's main features that makes it stand out is the Virtual Game Master, an AI that tailors quests, interactions, and even world events based on how you play. This means your journey will feel more unique, unpredictable, and completely your own, with every run not really being the same. And for those who love giving your character their own background story and immersing yourself in role-playing, the Wayward Realms will reportedly be putting importance on your choices as a player, skill-based progression, and other deep role-playing systems. It really does look like they're building a game where your decisions will actually matter. The devs are obviously cooking.
Is it wrong that I get so excited, honestly, when they just say, your decisions matter? For modern gaming, that's like, wow, at this point. It's like, oh, who would have expected something so... My decisions matter? The last time that mattered was when I was a child, and not for my parents. Holy, this is great. Imagine decisions mattering. And maybe this is going to be one of those modern day super rare games with roleplay elements where you can be the bad guy. Maybe. Who knows if we're lucky. Because in most of these modern games, you cannot be the bad guy. Evil decisions don't exist. No one is evil. Just be good.
Something here, and with how this project is being spearheaded by two people who actually had a hand in bringing us the Elder Scrolls series, it's only fair that you'd feel optimistic about the game. Now, without further ado, let's get into why this game should be on your radar. As I previously mentioned, in the Wayward Realms, players will explore a cluster of over 100 realistically scaled, procedurally generated islands, which are called the Archipelago. This massive setting, about the size of 500,000 square kilometers, around 193,051 square miles for our North American viewers, looks like it'll be packed with both wonder and conflict where kingdoms battle for dominance, factions vie.
Okay, instantaneously thinking Ashes of Creation levels of things. Is there a $250 hotkey key that I have to buy to play the prehistoric half of this game? Okay. What exactly is happening here? That's a lot of procedurally generated stuff. You need to be really good with that to make it work. I don't know about that, Chief.
For influence, and ancient dynasties carry out multi-generational schemes. Along the way, players will face all sorts of challenges, rivals, mercenaries, monsters, spirits, and demons as they navigate through these mysterious lands, foreboding dungeons, and lively kingdoms populated by humans, elves, orcs, yes with a K, dwarves, and other unusual races. It's a massive, ambitious world that is supposed to feel alive and unpredictable, and what I need to point out here is that 500,000 square kilometers might sound small to some people, but it's actually insanely huge.
Yeah, this is like bigger than Ashes of Creation, and that's supposed to be the biggest thing yet.
Context, Skyrim's map is only around 31 square kilometers, or 14 square miles. Now, what's especially interesting with the game is how the Wayward Realms approaches storytelling. They've completely done away with main quests where you get strung along to fulfill a story. Instead of following a single fixed main quest, the devs have said they're going to prioritize player-driven narratives. In games like Skyrim, for example, I'm sure all of us never really rushed to do the main quest anyway. The moment we escaped Helgen, we pretty much did our own exploring and stumbled upon side quests and met a few NPCs.
You know what I never did in Skyrim? I never went past the small wooden bridge.
Upon side quests and met a few NPCs. It made it easier to roleplay the Dragonborn because we never really got any background for the character. We were kind of free to just make stuff up as we went along the game. That's the sort of feel that the devs were supposedly looking for, and that's where the virtual game master system steps in, because it reportedly adapts events, quests, and even world dynamics based on player choices. Major events could still happen with or without player involvement, but when
I mean, this sounds good, right? But this also sounds seriously big and complex. The world map alone is ginormous, and you're telling me AI is gonna slob dribble everything here? That you need insane AI to actually, make this work even in the slightest.
and how they unfold may depend on what you do or choose not to do. For example, a mayor might meet a sudden, grisly fate based on your actions, which permanently alters the political landscape of that town. The idea of a world that keeps moving and evolving no matter what.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a lie, okay? Imagine that you could influence a single small town that much. Yeah, that instantaneously is gonna mean a bunch of nothing. There's no chance.
The player being forced to play through the consequences of their actions does seem really interesting. The open-ended approach appears to offer players the freedom to carve their own path through the Archipelago's ever-changing political and social web. With its focus on deeply reactive factions and richly layered lore, there's potential for players to stumble upon centuries of history and mythology just by exploring, reading in-game text, or chatting with NPCs. The sense of discovery of piecing together the world's story on your own terms sounds like it could be one of the game's most rewarding features. Of course, this is all just the concept of the story and setting of the game. We can't really confirm anything until players get their hands on the game, but the concept alone admittedly does sound exciting. If the Wayward Realms can deliver on its promise of meaningful choices and lasting consequences in a world that feels alive, it might just redefine how we think about role-playing games.
Hey, I would be fine even if they do it a lot smaller and it's still at least give me choices, okay? I am choice starved. I don't want to replay Fallout New Vegas for the 50th time and still choose only Yes Man always because he is the only right option, okay? And kill the kings because reasons. Okay? I can't do I don't want to do that for the 10th time.
As we previously established, the Wayward Realms wants to give you that nostalgic experience with its own modern twist. And since it's using Daggerfall as some sort of basis, it's pretty obvious they're going for a first-person.
All of the old games were great because of reasons.
Perspective in combat. The game's first-person combat is described as a blend of realism and accessibility, sitting between the simplicity of Skyrim and the depth of Kingdom Come Deliverance, which admittedly is a very wide range.
Yeah.
It's like saying it's between the shallowness of a puddle and the depth of an Olympic swimming pool. Players will supposedly experience weighty attacks, tactical dodging, and ranged combat that is affected by mechanics like bow wobble for added realism and immersion. Combat strategy is also further enhanced with critical hits and special.
You know what I hate about games is when you have something like, oh, we need to make bow shooting not 100% accurate, so let's do this. You draw back your bow and your hand starts going like this. My man, are you fucking retarded? Can you not hold it like this? Like, where is the problem here? Why is your hand going like this? Okay? Why? It's so dumb. It's so stupid. I hate it. Please stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Your lineage should be deleted.
Special moves that
your fucking family tree is a family wheel.
Supposedly allow players to adapt to enemy behaviors. Magic, meanwhile, is rare and revered, requiring effort to master through mentors and rare resources before you can pull it off. Custom spellcrafting will also reportedly be a thing in the game and will add a creative dimension, letting players design their own magical abilities. If they let you create and cast spells, I hope it will be like the Dragon's Dogma series. I swear they've perfected spellcasting in that game. It's not all about combat.
The Dragon's Dogma is great!
Though, those who want alternatives to combat will have non-combat solutions such as persuasion, stealth, and political influence, which offer several ways to resolve conflicts. Abandoning traditional class systems, the Wayward Realms lets players create highly customized builds. Skills and attributes evolve based on player actions, giving you the chance to create your own unique archetype. Progression is skill based rather than level based, with attributes like charisma and willpower growing organically. And since it's a massive cluster of islands, exploration will obviously be very important to the game. What the devs said about exploration is that it will be rooted in realism, and you'll need ships, caravans, or mounts to effectively traverse, with horseback riding confirmed to be a key feature. These immersive touches enhance the sense of being part of a living, breathing world. The game's crafting system.
True. That's the problem with being on Archipelago. Because who fucking cares about just going on a ship to go to another place? Like, damn.
Systems are said to be extensive. It will cover alchemy, enchantments, and custom spell crafting. These systems will obviously support various playstyles and will give players the chance to have
Are those bats?
creative solutions to challenges. Housing and ships can also be customized, and players will also get the chance to add layers of personalization and practicality, serving as storage and travel hubs. Survival mechanics like diseases and hunger will also play a part in the game and will give it some realism without overwhelming the experience. For example, the devs said that diseases may give you some trade-offs, giving temporary buffs alongside debuffs, which kind of doesn't make sense because what sort of buffs would you even get from being sick?
Yeah, it's called a disease for a reason. This seems strange. Okay, why are you currently thinking? I'm thinking this is ambitious. Too ambitious, because technically this is more ambitious than Ashes of Creation on many fronts. One is the size, two is the freedom, but they are saying that they want AI to slop feed you, so, I mean, I'm completely fine with AI slop feeding me. Not gonna lie, I know a lot of people are against it. They hate AI and everything it stands for and all of that thing. But if an AI can make a game that's interesting enough and, you know, do it in a good way, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the AI shoving down it to my throat. It's completely okay. I will accept this if it's good enough AI slop.
NPCs are not static, they have their own lives and motivations that change based on player actions. This dynamic interaction will give players some opportunities for alliances, betrayals, or neutral relationships. The world seems like it'll be full of lore with artifacts, ancient runestones, and books giving you some insight into its history. Visually, the game does have a darker tone with its atmospheric lighting. The dialogue will rely on text rather than voice acting, which will probably be a deal breaker for a lot of players. It honestly does feel like a letdown, but I can see that they're probably trying to evoke the charm of classics like Morrowind and Daggerfall, and we do know that voice acting is quite expensive this day and age, especially for a game this size. Though I wish they'd just give you the option to turn off voices in the settings instead of removing it altogether. I mean, why ruin the experience for other people who want voices? But I do acknowledge that it does free up some resources that could be dedicated to other aspects of the game, so I guess they have a good reason for doing it. Primarily, probably, money. Also, for those wondering if there will be multiplayer or co-op in the Wayward Realms, the devs have answered.
If the answer is yes, this is not a Skyrim killer. This is fake.
Answered no. The Wayward Realms is
good. That sounds good.
Designed to be a single-player experience. It's about creating a deeply personal story in a massive world, and they said that adding multiplayer would dilute that experience and shift the focus away from what the devs are actually aiming for.
Also, what would be the... Well, in a game like this, there would be a point in the multiplayer experience, but again, that point is nowhere to be found or reasonable for most people, so might as well not exist in the first place. That's fine.
They say they want players to feel like the hero of their own tale, without having to consider how their actions might affect or interact with others in real time. As previously discussed, the team wants to bring back the spirit of Daggerfall, but take it to the next level using today's technology. The game
Hell yeah!
is built around 4 key ideas: scope, choices, consequences, and role-playing. Basically, they're aiming for a world that's not just big, but also reactive. Maybe a town thrives or falls into ruin depending on your actions, or political alliances shift in some ways you didn't see coming. Even small decisions can have surprising ripple effects. The tech behind the game can also be considered ambitious. It's being built in Unreal Engine 5, which powers the game's massive archipelago, full of unique...
Oh, that's cool. So this game is going to be something like 500 gigabytes to download. Yay! I'm so excited! Just make it a terabyte, okay? Just make it a terabyte instantly. Unreal 5 is great, don't get me wrong, but the size and the fact that no one any longer knows how to optimize games, so they take, you know, your average typical modern day game takes like 100 gigabytes of space minimum.
Environments from piratey riverside villages to mystical mountain retreats. Though this does raise some concerns about how much of a performance strain Unreal Engine 5 has on setups. I think you can surely expect that in this game when it does come out, will mostly be made for the current gen of consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X and S in mind, along with more powerful PC game rigs.
An AI-generated game like this is not going to have the greatest graphics in the first place, even if it's Unreal Engine 5, so you technically don't have to worry about the consoles making your gaming experience worse for everything else, because, yeah, I mean, it's not going to have the best look anyway, I would imagine.
Procedural generation helps create the vast world, but developers are adding handcrafted touches to make every location feel meaningful. The quest will reportedly follow a 5-act structure inspired by Shakespeare, so expect storylines that build up to big, impactful moments. Of course, all this ambition comes with challenges, and the Kickstarter campaign has been a window into both the vision and the hurdles. The team's goal was to raise $500,000 to cover a year of development for an early access.
Oh, Jesus! 500,000 for a year of early access, and they got set. Dude, how much is that? Wait. How much is that? Wait. Well, this is like 100. Well, slightly below 100. This is like $82 per backer. That is insane. Yeah, that's like 80 goddamn $2 for a backer. Holy moly, pepperoni on a stick. That is a lot of money. Man, that is insane.
Access build featuring early versions of the game's.
Yeah, they might as well sell spaceships in their store to fund their Operation B and join the ranks of Ashes of Creation, Ashes of Creation, and everyone's favorite Star Citizen. Okay, because damn, this is gonna be insane. Well, looking forward to finding out if we got Star Citizen.
Core systems. As of the time of this video, they have currently raised over $750,000, but you can currently also late back this project on Kickstarter. From there, they plan to pitch the build to publishers to secure more funding and keep working on the rest of the game.
Okay, that would work.
And this is pretty much where we are at the moment. Final thoughts. I have to say the game's concepts do sound interesting. I mean, it's going to feature a massive world and your decisions will affect it on whatever scale. And I also like how they're emphasizing role-playing in this game. It's something that I noticed a lot of people are doing.
Okay, Extra Life. No one cares about your opinions. That's why you exist. Anyway, that was the embedders of Twitch. Extra Life. 10 out of 10. Bye.